Okay, so I explained that animate text property like so poorly before, so I did some thinking, and I think I found out a good way to explain it. So we're going to do animate. So I have this text layer created, and I know it's spelled wrong. I just think it looks awesome. Something, thine, or whatever. Maybe it's not that awesome. Okay, so before we do anything, I added that position. I chose position, just like before. And before I do anything, I'm going to click that animator range selector position. So we can see, if I have position highlighted, I can see these little, might be kind of hard to see, there's little X's that tell me position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to like 9 or whatever. Now, if I go to range selector, I didn't move anything yet. I can see these kind of like typing cursors move. So it's just kind of guessing like, oh, 90% would be toward the end. So that's the start. Basically position or end position. And if I isolate, like let's say this middle E with the start and end, and then go below it to this position and move it, it only moves that piece. Or if I increase it to include, let's say, the E and the T, it only moves those pieces. So what we did before was, let's reset this position to 0 and reset the start to 0 and the end to 100, which means everything is going to be included in this transformation. So when we moved this off frame and then we animated this start property, what's happening is it's cutting out, it's saying it's cutting out pieces of that text, which makes it look like they're sliding into place, but really what it's doing is it's not including them in this position calculation. If we were to mess with the end keyframe, what's going on is, oh, now nothing's being included if we brought it down to 0, and then as I bring that end out, it's like throwing the S out, throwing the O in. So that's just one little animator you can do, and that's kind of how the range selector works. But let me show you one other animation property that's pretty cool. So we're going to use click the animate property and do opacity. I think this one is pretty cool. And this time we're not going to mess with the start and end. We're just going to leave it at 100, and we'll just be animating this offset piece. And notice how when you offset it, it's basically going to be cutting out, parts of the text that we don't want the effect to apply to. So for example, if I set the opacity to 0 and then I offset it, it's not applying to those pieces, right? Okay, but here's a nice little trick. If you go into the advanced properties and say randomize order on, and then we adjust the offset, you get this like kind of blinking light effect, but they come on too quickly, and that's within this advanced tab. The shape is called square, which I think means like linear. It comes on very smoothly and quickly. But if we change the shape to ramp up, I think it basically means it will more smoothly change the fade. And so let's set the offset to -100, set a keyframe, go forward a little bit, set it to +100, and you get this kind of cool blinky light thing. So that's just some cool things you can see in this animate tab. And maybe since we have a black background, we can go to effects, presets. Let's see if this glow looks cool. We'll do stylize glow, drop it on, and if you increase the glow radius and glow threshold won't do anything, but the intensity maybe to like 0.4 and increase the glow radius. Let's double click our text, and not with, I think if you double click it, it's like full screening it. Double click it to not full screen it. Let's not have a fill color, and so I click that, and then this means no fill. But now I'm going to click the stroke, and let's change the stroke to something like neon. And right now our pixels of that stroke are 1 pixel, but if we increase it, And let's increase our glow radius, maybe the glow intensity to 0.6. So now we have this kind of like neon light fade on, which could be worked to look even cooler perhaps. Yeah, I think there's an effect called exposure. So anyways, that's pretty much the end of this tutorial. I'm just kind of messing around to see if I can make it look more cool. Yeah. All right, well, those are just some things that hopefully we can use in this upcoming project.